Thank you very much for this kind introduction, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I really thank you for this opportunity. And I'm going to talk about 3GPP SA update, primarily on release 18 and release 19. I know most of you are already familiar with the scope of TSG SA, but just to recap, the 3GPP Technical Specification Group SA, which stands for Services and System Aspects, is responsible for the overall architecture and services capability of system based on 3GPP specifications. SA also is responsible for the 6 working groups and the technical coordination of the specification that does get us within these 6 working groups, and as well as the cross coordination with the TSG RAN as well as TSG CT. So the most of the work currently is ongoing on release 18 timeline, and as well as there is also work ongoing on release 19. I'll talk a little bit more about this. On the release 18, this is a initial release of 5G Advanced that signifies the subsequent stage in the progress of 5G technology. The aim of 5G Advanced is to provide the new functionality, extending beyond the mere connectivity, thus unlocking the broader spectrum of sophisticated applications tailored on vertical industries and other sectors. On the work completion, SA1, which does the services requirement work, is now 100% complete. It was completed in December. Stage 2 has been successfully finalized in all working group. It is to be noted that during December 2022, due to the challenges of e-meeting, there was a decision to extend the release 18 deadline by 3 months. So consequently, the stage 2 freeze was moved from March to June, and also the other timelines moved appropriately. So stage 2 has now been successfully completed in all SA working groups, and SA2 and SA6 stage 2 functional freeze happened in June. For SA3, SA4, and SA5, stage 2 was frozen in September, and we remain on track to deliver the implementable release 18 specifications by June 2024. So on the stage 1 in release 18, there were total 25 normative items plus 14 studies that has been all completed on TSG 94, which was December 2022. On a stage 2, on the studies part, there were 43 study items that has been completed. There is one remaining item on Edge app extension, which is ongoing in SA3. It is 65% complete, and then there is a plan to fully complete this by December. In terms of normative work, 57 work items has been completed, and this also includes XRM work in SA2, which was although completed 98% in June, but now it's 100% complete, as the only remaining item was basically the alignment of some of the stage 2 specifications. On release 19, which is a second release of 5G Advanced, the SA1 work on the use cases and the normative service requirement is progressing well. This is around 80% complete, and the target is to have 100% completion achieved by the December plenary meeting. The work on release 19 has been ongoing also in some other working groups, but mainly the work were basically getting started was kicked off from the release 19 workshop, and then it's going through a content approval process, and final release 19 content is expected to be approved by December. And the stage 2 will be progressing, and the stage 2 freeze timeline is December of 2024, and the final completion is December 2025 for the ASN and Open API freeze. So this slide just to show how the release 19 content definition process is been progressing. This is mainly for the SA2, which is a system architecture group, because that is the group which is primarily overloaded with the multiple projects. So this is primarily focusing on that. So far, we have not decided to do any prioritization exercise for any other working group because their workload is quite manageable. As I mentioned earlier, the work on the Release 19 scope started with the Release 19 workshop. And basically, we at the workshop, we identified those core and miscellaneous items. So there were 17 core items that was identified, as well as 15 miscellaneous items that was identified for further discussions. On these core items, the moderated email discussions happened within SA2, and some projects were submitted for approval in September. So the further discussion happened in December, where we selected Release 19 study items and work item for approval, and out of that, we approved the 5 study items. These items has been scheduled now, and the work is ongoing in this quarter, but the final Release 19 content approval is expected to be in December. So these are the items which I mentioned previously on the Release 19 core topics, as well as the miscellaneous topics. So you can see that there are 17 topics that were identified in the June plenary. Out of these, basically, most of have basically gone through quite a significant deliberations at the SA2 group. The one which you see highlighted in green, the 4 topics has resulted in 5 study items that has been approved. Now, one additional item which you see resulted from these IMS and GRTC enhancement was about study on MPS on IMS messaging and SMS services that has also been approved. The topics which you see highlighted in cyan color will continue to be discussed in SA2 and will come for approval for the December plenary. Now, the items which you don't see any color highlighted, then these are the items they will not be further discussed and expected not to be part of Release 19 content. But there would still be an opportunity to have these items submitted as kind of a TI 19 items, which is for small technical enhancements and improvements. So in terms of statistics, the stage 1 work has 14 study items, and the expectation is to complete all of them 100% by December. The overall completion index is around 94%, and the normative work, which includes the 23 work items, including the mini weeds, is around 92% completed, and these are the data coming from the September TSG meetings. On stage 2, there are 4 studies, one more than the previous TSG, 1 from SA4 and 3 from SA6. And there is a normative work going on 8 items, and mainly that is from the SA6. So this is just a quick snapshot of all Release 19 work and study items ongoing in different SA working groups. As I mentioned previously, you can see some of them were approved in September, mainly for the SA2 working group. Very quickly on the 6G work plan and timeline, I think Vanshi talked about this also, that SA at September plenary, which is SA 101, we had some preliminary discussion regarding the 6G work plan, which was mainly prompted by the incoming liaison from the ITUR related to their finalization of IMT 2030 framework document. there were no conclusions that were reached on this 6G timeline, and we expect the further discussions will take place during the December plenary. I also wanted to highlight that 3GPP SA is in the process of considering to organize a stage 1 workshop on IMT 2030 use cases. The objective is to basically engage in the discussions with the regional research alliances as well as MRPs on the stage 1 IMT 2030 use cases. The specific dates and venue of this workshop is currently under discussion, and formal approval of this workshop will expected to be happening in the December meeting, when the more details would be available in terms of venue, dates, and things like other details. But this should not be confused with the 6G workshop. The 6G workshop will be happening sometime later once we finalize on the 6G timelines within the SA and RAN. Yeah, I think this concludes my presentation. Thank you. I'm happy to take any questions if you can.